Halloween is definitely a time for Frankenstein monsters and vampires and werewolves. But many of us have our own monsters from different cultures. Stories of creatures stalking the shadows of Latin American hallways and vengeful demons from South Asia with backwards feet. Below are some of the best we've found. Watch on if you dare. Number 1. The Popobawa. The Popobawa story is rather new, only dating back a few decades from a time of civil unrest following the assassination of the country's president. The popular thinking goes that after a Popobawa attack, victims must spread the word to others on Pemba. Otherwise, they will continue to be visited by the Popobawa. Reports of attacks send some locals into a panic. A few years ago, a series of nighttime assaults were blamed on the Popobawa. Some men are staying awake or sleeping in groups outside their homes, the BBC reported in 2007. Others are smearing themselves with pig's oil, believing this repels attacks. A peasant farmer named Mjaka Hamad claims he was attacked by the Popobawa in 1997. The following are the words of the farmer. "I couldn't see it. I could only feel it. But some people in my house could see it. Those who have got the spirits in their heads could see it. Everybody was terrified. They were outside screaming hi-yo. It means the Popobawa is there. I had this bad pain in my ribs where it crushed me. I don't believe in spirits, so maybe that's why it attacked me. Maybe it will attack anybody who doesn't believe." Number 2. The girl in the bathroom. In Japan, the schools contain an infernal secret. If you go into the girl's bathroom on the 3rd floor of the building and walk to the 3rd stall, you might find her. You have to knock 3 times and call her name, a code switch reader named Jessica tweeted at us. When you open the stall door, a little girl in a red skirt will be there. The little girl with the bob haircut is Hanako-san. She wants friends to play with, maybe. Or perhaps she wants to drag you to hell through the toilet. Depending on which part of Japan you live in, she may have a bloody hand and grab you, or be a lizard that devours you. Hanako-san has become a fixture of Japanese urban folklore over the last 70 years. The most popular origin story for the tale holds that during World War II, a schoolgirl was using the bathroom when a bomb fell on top of the building. The school collapsed on top of Hanako-san, who has been trapped there ever since. But Hanako isn't the only schoolgirl who haunts Japan's school bathrooms. Kashima Ryuko, another young girl, was said to have been cut in half by a train. Now her disfigured spirit inhabits bathrooms, asking children who enter the stalls where her legs are. The legend goes that if Kashima Ryuko is not satisfied with their answer, she will rip their legs off. Number 3. The woman of your dreams. In Brazil, a tall, skinny woman with long yellow fingernails and red eyes creeps along the rooftops and watches families inside of their homes. She watches them as they sit at the table for dinner. She watches them while they eat. La Pisadera. After the meal, when someone goes to sleep on a full stomach, La Pisadera sneaks into their bedroom. Then she sits on their chest so that they cannot move. The Pisadera that has attacked them watches them as they begin to panic, the victim's eyes partly open, but they are neither fully asleep or fully awake, helpless and trapped in a body that won't move. Sleep paralysis is a well-studied disorder. The worst thing is when you try to fight or call for help, a Redditor said in a conversation about what the experiences with it were like. Your voice doesn't work and your body will not respond. You just feel helpless. And among those who suffer from it across many cultures, there is one unsettling common experience, a sense that a malevolent force is hovering over them in their immobile state. Number 4. The Weeping Woman. Her name was Maria. She lived in Mexico. She had long, dark hair and a covetous heart. The man she loved would not have her, so she took her children in a fit of rage, took them down to the river, and drowned them, one by one. When the man she loved spurned her again, she realized what she'd done. She took herself to the water and threw herself in, to subject herself to the same fate as her children. But heaven would not have Maria, and she was condemned to wander the world in perpetual grief. She is La Llorona, the Wailing Woman. The people who have seen her said they can hear her walking, soaking wet, wearing all white. And she can be heard crying out for the little ones she killed. Hey, Miss Hi-Hos. She weeps. Some say that she snatches other young children as she walks, mistaking them for her own young children she knew. Children along the Mexican border grow up with her story, which traces itself to stories about several different female spirits of the Aztec Empire. Number 5. The Dead Children's Playground. This eerie playground adjacent to Maple Hill, Huntsville's oldest cemetery, doesn't just have an eerie nickname for fun. The playground was presumably designed to entertain kids while their parents visited the graves of loved ones. Legend has it, though, that the spirits of children who have been buried in the cemetery since the first grave was dug there in 1822 come out to play at night. The living have observed orbs of light going down the slide, seen swings moving on their own, and even heard giggling. Creepier still, some say the spirits include victims of a rash of child murders that happened in the 60s when bodies were rumored to have been found in the area that now houses the playground. After public outcry, it was replaced with more modern equipment, making it slightly less creepy to look at and also probably resulting in some happier ghosts. Number 6. The Dog Boy. The name sounds kind of goofy, or actually even kind of like Goofy. But if you find yourself at 65 Mulberry Street, in the middle of the minuscule Arkansas town of Quitman, you won't laugh if you see the hulking outline of a 300-pound half-man, half-beast, complete with glowing animal eyes, glaring out of the windows. Walk quickly, as he has been known to chase people down his street, biting at their heels, kind of like a dog, actually. Number 7. The Phantom Jogger of Canyon Hill. There are rumors of many hauntings in Caldwell, Idaho's centuries-old Canyon Hill Cemetery, but the one that gets the most attention is the Midnight Jogger. As with many of the best urban legends, you have to do your part to get her attention. In this case, it involves parking between certain trees in the cemetery at night. Do it right, and the legless apparition will knock on your window to let you know she's there, then continue on her route. It's creepy as hell, though now it's only the second worst image conjured when you think of sinister joggers. Thus concludes the list of the top scariest monster stories. Do you guys believe in these stories? Let us know in the comments below.